Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
A little bit away from Rivers State, straight to Abuja, it's happening there a great deal between Sowore and the FCT minister. The FCT minister is out for Sowore, and you'll be shocked his response to some of the allegations that have been leveled against Sowore. Don't forget that fairly recently, Sowore defamed the president via his comment on X, and according to the response, he talked about the president being a criminal, that President Tinubu is a criminal. That case is right now in court because Sowore himself has decided to drag both X, Facebook, and other parties involved, even the president, to court over the fact that his right is being trampled upon. But the interesting part of it is that Wike has decided to pick up that case and to make some clarification on it. And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at in a jiffy. According to the news, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has berated activist and African Action Congress presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore over his description of President Tinubu as a criminal. Speaking on Thursday during the flag up of the arterial road N1 construction in Wike, Abuja, Wike said Sowore should count himself fortunate to have a president who respects the rule of law. In his word, Wike says, this is a country where somebody on social media will say, Mr. President is a criminal, nothing will happen. You say all kinds of things you want to say, but nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on social media or in the public say our president is a criminal? Have you heard that? But here, anyone can wake up in the morning and abuse the president, and we are happy. You are lucky you have a president who believes in the rule of law. You are lucky. Continue to be lucky. There are those you will meet that you won't be lucky again. Sowore had in August 25th post on X accused Tinubu of lying shamelessly after the president reportedly said in Brazil that corruption no longer existed in Nigeria. The Department of State Services subsequently filed criminal charges against Sowore, accusing him of defamation and breaching Nigeria's cybercrime and terrorism prevention laws. The DSS also urged social media platforms to remove the post. Sowore, however, refused to delete the tweet, describing the DSS action as an attempt to silence dissent. This is despicable, he said. The minister also spoke on the indefinite strike declared by the FCT Association of Resident Doctors, saying the administration has allocated 25 billion naira to healthcare projects in the 2025 budget. In his word, he said the people who now say they are being owed allowances, fine, we lost our head of service. We just appointed an acting head of service, and I said, okay, go and check how much are they talking about. They said they have not employed doctors. I said, Chairman, Civil Service Commission. They said they have gotten a waiver. Fine, what's my own? Go and employ them. I am not a doctor. I have never thought to be a doctor. Go ahead and employ them. Wike dismissed threats of demonstration, insisting governance must follow due process. The SSS called me that people said they will demonstrate, that we are paying attention to road, not health. Demonstration is allowed everywhere. Nobody will blackmail me. Nobody will stop me from doing what I think is right and doing it at the right time. He warned against politicizing the FCT civil service, stressing that allowance and other entitlement would be settled once due procedures are completed. If the permanent secretary of the Treasury brings the bill down, that this is what the allowance are. What's my own? Why would I hold it? They will pay. But know that everything has a procedure. But to tell me you will demonstrate, you will block the road, allow them. But nobody can stop me from holding this occasion today. Not one. That was the position of Wike. It's such a troubling one, I must say. He has made his position known, and it revolves around Sowore. That's where our interest is. And my colleagues in the house, we just want to talk about this. Sowore has been dragged by Wike, and these are two very powerful personalities when it comes to, talking. I don't know. What's your standpoint on this? Do you think Wike is right, or is a case where, being that the president is an official personality, anyone can vituperate any insult? Or do you think that is a case of defamation, just as the SSS had rightly pointed out?
I kind of forget what lawyer Inibege said some few days back. When he was called upon, he said something so unique. He said, when they asked him, he said, did the president said he was defamed? And if he did, he has every right to approach the courts. He not took time to explain the fact that what DSS were doing were just they're literally doing busybody. I don't know what he meant, but I know that Inibege is a lawyer and is coming from the standpoint of the law. What I do also know is the fact that the president also, as a person, as an individual, have also not approached the court. But for Yesomike to talk, he's only talking because he doesn't want the situation where to become a norm for them to literally call out the president and call him names. Now, for that of Donald Trump, you mentioned about Donald Trump, the country, United States of America, observe the rule of law to the latter. They're a very democratic nation. Yeah. They also observe freedom of speech. They observe everything that has to do with democracy to the latter, to the last person, even to a new baby. They ensure that it is being upheld. But that cannot be said totally in Nigeria. We have seen what the judiciary have been doing. So sometimes the act of not doing what is right as at when due. Look at what is happening. Look at what happened in Rivers State. What took place for the last 6 months. Judiciary kept quiet, even though when they brought a case before them, until it almost became, now it's now academic. If they're to run it now, they refuse to assign any judge to it, a whole Supreme Court. Now, when you stop, if you refuse, because that's the third arm of the government, if you refuse to uphold the law, if they refuse to interpret it, if they refuse to do what their duty says it will, what you are breeding is anarchy. And the funny part is that judiciary is the last hope of the common man. And when the common man feels as if he has no hope anymore, then you are calling for anarchy. When they believe that if they approach the court, they will not get justice, they begin to take justice, they begin to take the laws into their own hands.
Now, the issue of Sowore and him saying that even in US, such cannot be said of the president, is it true?
Well, I have seen situations where citizens drag Donald Trump to court. Even fairly recently, the people that were them, yes, they won well. Even the last one that just happened, the people that they repatriated from US, they're dragging Donald Trump to court for repatriating them. How many people have dragged Tinubu to court? In fact, as you are seeing, in fact, they will trash it. Look at the one they dragged. It's in Supreme Court. They refuse to put a judge on it. If you drag the president to court, you will lose. It's not a case of, I've never seen any, at least not in the recent time, you put, it's either at the high level, high court, in fact, at the federal high court, it will be trashed. They will call it all manner of English that will suit it, a last jurisdiction, all manner of English legal terms that will fit it in. And maybe that's why you see the likes of Sowore them deciding to get attention either which way. But like the law Inibe said, if the president feel that he has been defamed in all sincerity, he should approach the court. Sowore is one man that I know very well that does not run. If you want him today, if you see the number of court cases that man have attended, from the days of Buhari, late Buhari till now, the guy is very frequent. He knows all the corners that leads to court premises in Nigeria, particularly the one of Abuja. He knows how the prison building, that of DSS and Kuje, he knows how the building looks like. So it's not new to all of those. They've literally speaking, Nigeria have hardened Sowore. Nothing new shakes him anymore.
All right. It's really interesting, I must say. Let's meet the commission and talk more on this. What's the standpoint?